Hello, everybody. I am back with another episode here of the NBA 2K podcast hosted by yours truly, RF Ribeiro. You can just call me Rib, though. Um, I know I haven't been doing these podcasts as much as I would like to, and I alluded to this a little bit in the last episode where I had a guest scheduled and they canceled on me within 30 minutes of the scheduled time that this guest picked the day and time of. Um, so I am going to be alone again today, but if there are any guests you guys are interested in hearing from and you guys think I can possibly ask them to make an appearance here and chat with me a little bit, do let me know. Twitter, YouTube, Discord, however you want to get a handle of me and let me know of these names, let me know. So, in this episode here for this podcast, there's a few things I want to get into. Um, some information that you may or may not be aware of, um, and some dates, important dates that you may or may not be aware of. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the complications of creating gameplay for NBA 2K that works for everyone, which is not an easy thing to do. And then a few other things here and there. So we're in mid-July. This episode is releasing July 16th. So if you're listening to this on the day of, we are in mid-July, which means it's usually, I would call it the off season for NBA 2K. Mid-July is not even a month till release of the next game, which means a lot of dev blogs and dev answers and information that people might want to know is still a few weeks away. But the information that we know right now, and I will post this here if you're watching the podcast, you'll be able to look. But if not, don't worry because I will read to you and I will let you know what I just put up here. So I made this graph and I posted this to Twitter. What was it? A week, 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. And basically, these are all the important dates that we know of so far. And that includes the 25th anniversary edition. It is available for purchase until September 10th. Okay, so after September 10th, you cannot buy the 25th anniversary edition anymore from a retail store. I'm sure you could probably still buy it from somebody that has a key, like a store digital key for the game. If you somehow happen to find somebody that is selling their game key. The Summer League pre-order bonus is available until the 17th. Okay, so that means until Monday, this coming Monday. And it's a small little pre-order bonus. You just get a few, I think you get a little bit more VC or MT. Um, all the details to all of this for like specifically what you get in each order, you can go to the NBA 2K site and go to their store page. But I'm having a look here to try to figure out. So there is, and this is by the way, not to confuse the pre-order bonus with the Summer League pre-order bonus. They're different pre-order bonuses. So the pre-order offer available for purchases of the 25th anniversary edition through July 17th, what you're going to end up getting is a 90 overall rated Victor Wembanyama free agent card. You're also going to get a Wemby player jersey. So that's for your My Player when you're walking around the city. And you're also going to get a Ruby Devin Booker My Team card. So the pre-order bonus is a little bit more friendly for the My Team players. But if you want a Wemby jersey, I guess, you have only a couple days left to pre-order the anniversary edition to get it. The next date here is the NBA League Pass. It is available from October 6th after redeeming bonus content. So I have gotten some questions about this not that long ago, and I made a tweet about it because I feel like people are still confused. I might have to tweet about this again in a few weeks and probably in a few weeks after that. But you can buy the game that gives you the League Pass. You can do that right now, but you're not going to get the code for the League Pass until October 6th at the earliest after you've redeemed the bonus content for the anniversary edition. Okay, it's pretty simple. Okay, you're going to buy the game. You're going to, once you get into the game, redeem the bonus content. And then you're going to have to wait until October 6th to get the email for your NBA League Pass. Okay. The 25th anniversary bonus content, you have to redeem it before December 1st, or you're not going to get the League Pass code. And you got to redeem the League Pass code by December 31st, or that code will just cease to exist. You'll still have the code, but it just won't work. It will become void. And you also have your pre order bonus content, which basically means you have to buy the game before the global launch date, which is September 8th. And just in case, because there were some tweets out there about this, and I did talk about all of this, I feel like in the last podcast, but I feel like it's really important, and I'm kind of doing a public service here. There is no early access, okay? There is no version of the game where you can play early officially. So that's that. All right. So make sure if you want the summer pre-order bonus that you buy the game, and make sure you're buying the 25th anniversary edition because you will not get the summer pre-order bonus if you buy any other version of the game. Now, again, this is something that I've been reading a lot on Twitter, and I think this all started because of somebody allegedly was able to talk to Mike Wang at a 2K24, what would you call it, a demo play um, at an event. And this individual allegedly told Mike Wang to remove the adrenaline bars of NBA 2K23 because he saw that they were going to be re-implemented in 2K24. Now, if you know me and if you follow my content and what I put out there, I have said that 2K23 is a step forward, and everything that they added, they need to stop removing and adding stuff from past years and reapplying it years later. That is not no way to create a game, okay? Especially when it comes to sports games. And I've played, I play them all: FIFA, NHL, The Show, UFC, if you want to include MMA games. And um, what there needs to be is content that's added and then improved or changed year to year, but always looking ahead and not having like 2K16 or 2K17 content re-added back to 2K24 or 2K25 into the future. There should never be old technology, old updates, old um, features re-added into the game unless it's something like the Jordan Challenge, which is something that probably should have never been removed because people enjoy it. Like there is almost no reason to say let's not add that because it's something that people enjoy. It's a really neat feature, and we already know 2K24 is going to have something similar, but with Kobe, which makes a lot of sense. Um, so that's different because that's like a game mode feature. But specifically speaking of gameplay content, we can't be going back and forth because then if you keep going back and forth, the game is never going to actually advance and improve. And to me, 2K23 was a step forward, and the changes that they made from release to season 1, 2, and 3 and whatnot, they've been not as severe as they have been in previous years where and if you play 2K every year, you know this, but if you don't, usually when 2K releases by I don't know, the middle of September, end of September, going into October, the game usually has drastic changes. And I feel like this year the changes that it had, the updates, the fixes, they weren't as drastic and it kept the game moving forward, right? They never removed the adrenaline bars. They changed a few things with the stamina. At the beginning, the stamina was draining a little too quick with the dribbles. They changed that, and I'm okay with that. Um, but there just has to be improvements. I like the adrenaline. I like what the adrenaline bars are there for. Does it need improvements? Of course. It's a new tech that they just added. It's a new feature into the game that was just added literally a year ago. So it's going to have, ups and downs as everything in a year to year game will have when you're adding new content to keep the game fresh. It's one of the things that keeps, sports games and every other game out there different. The difference between them is the year to year release. It's a lot, man. If you know anything about game development, meeting a year to year deadline is is insane for lack of a better word. And not just meeting the deadline, but implementing new features to the game to keep the game fresh, but also keep the game, good and for the most part, keep people happy and satisfied. It is very tough to do that year to year. Okay. There's a lot of games out there that have plenty of time to add content like an expansion pack down the road, a DLC down the road. Games like NBA 2K and most sports games don't have that luxury. And you can't just, come December, change the game around completely. You can't do that. So, uh, my opinion on things with the gameplay is I'm one of the few people I feel like that enjoyed 23. It's one of the 2Ks I've played the most in the past 7 years. I feel like it's probably the 2K that I've played the most. And I mostly play alone. Mostly play against randoms. Mostly play, rec. Every now and again, I'll get into pro am with a buddy and like one of his friends. Um, Park very rarely. I'm usually in the rec. I'm usually in 5v5 online, and I have a center build. I have a point guard build. I experienced a lot of the game, and personally, um, I enjoy a lot of the new features more than I despise some of the stuff that people despise right now. And um, instead of adding and removing things every year and saying to the developers, which I read this on Twitter, I'm not going to call anybody out, but there's people saying like, you guys need to go back to 2K19 and add this from 2K17 and remove this because it's like that is not, first of all, that is not constructive, that is not informative, that is very opinionated, and maybe there's a lot of people that share that opinion, especially if it's Twitter accounts with big followings, they're going to follow that opinion. But personally, as a small time guy with a small following, and speaking from, you know, being able to have an eye in sometimes on, things here and there that maybe other people may not pay attention to, um, it's a very difficult thing to do year to year. But I think 2K is doing a really good job, especially recently. I wouldn't be saying this maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, but especially in the last couple years, I feel like the step ups have been great. Um, and I feel like they've done a good job with adding stuff that maybe some people will like, but a lot of people won't like. But there's like an alternative. So, in an example, I mean like the city. There's a lot of people that don't like that, but I remember seeing a video of Ronnie saying this is what the people wanted, but at the same time they included subways and ways to move around the city very easily. So there's like a balance to it in that way, which is very hard to do. Trying to make everybody happy is impossible. Now think about trying to make everybody happy year to year. It's never going to work. Um, but in conclusion, I think they're doing the best they can with the deadlines that they have, and I'm excited for 2K24. I think the new features, the pro play technology, if I'm correct about what that might be, which I will tell you guys what I think it is, and this is solely my opinion. Um, and I'm not gonna say exactly what it is, but what it could be. So if you're interested, if you've played FIFA, okay, if you're aware of what hypermotion technology is, I think you're gonna know what pro play technology is. Now, I do want to mention that I've seen some Twitter posts of people saying, "Oh, pro play is like WWE 2K, uh, the game modes where you're playing the game like so in WWE in the 2K WWE, there is a mode called what's it called Showdown, and you follow like the history fights of fighters. So like John Cena, pick no think of a famous fight that he's had, um, and the game will switch back between real life footage and like the game. It will switch back and forth, something like that. That's not what pro play is. I don't think. I think it is a lot more like hypermotion technology, and I'll show you guys a little bit of what that is, of what hypermotion is, and I'll explain to you what I think uh, ProPlay is based on that. So, if you look at the screen here, and I recommend you guys to watch the podcast at this point if you're just listening, but you see here that hypermotion was based on data from two new full match motion capture shoots. They did training drills with professional teams, and this includes men's and women's. So if we have a look here, uh, you can see they're in a private stadium, right? They must have rented it out for these games. They brought professional teams to come play, and they must have set up, cameras, and they probably have, they do have mocap suits on. And what ended up happening was that they were able to capture data and then turn that data into animations. Okay, so some of you know, if you really play 2K, you might know that a lot of animations are mocapped, not even by 2K, not even by NBA athletes, but just professional athletes of their professional mocap uh, creators, I guess. So recently there was an interview with the professor, and he said that he's actually the one that mocapped a lot of players' shots. Um, so that this is not what this is. So in high promotion, you're getting real players playing the actual game on a professional level. So these are professional teams, and uh, data just being captured and then turned into animations. So if you think about that a little bit, okay, if you think about that, that means you're going to get the most perfect animations compared to real life NBA. You're going to get, the perfect plays like the passes, the dribbling, the movements of the bodies are going to be incredibly realistic. Now, is that actually what pro play technology is? Don't know. Don't know. I've read the description of what pro play is. And to me, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, hypermotion. It's got to be hypermotion, because what else could it be? And that's just my opinion on it. It's gonna be. advancing the gameplay quite a bit, especially if you watch the NBA. You're going to notice a lot of realistic movements to players and what they do with the ball and off the ball. What does this mean for the game of 2K24? Well, it means the most authentic simulation you've probably ever seen so far, if that is actually what's being added. Um, because when it comes to animating movements, if you're going to capture data from a professional game and then transfer that to animation, that's the closest you can get. That's literally the closest you can get to the actual thing. So that's going to be a big one. That's going to change the game a little bit. And it's going to be great, in my opinion, if that's actually what it is. I don't know. This is all just my opinion. Please don't take this out of context and say that this is what 2K told me. It's not the case. So with that in mind, for the My Team people, if you're here still listening to this and you're a My Team player, hope you're enjoying Endgame Giannis. I know a lot of you in the My Team side of things are not too happy with the copy and paste of signatures and animations that players have is a lot of the same. But I hope it's not too bad. Considering that this is the last, well, it's not the last season, but I feel like the season 9 that's still to come is more of like an encore season, right? It's not taken as like a season to take seriously. I feel like season 8, the one we're on right now, is the last one. Um so yeah, let me know if you're a My Team player and you're listening to this. Let me know how you're feeling right now in season 8, because this is something I talk a lot about with buddies on Discord. The longevity of the My Player mode versus the My Team mode throughout a 2K year, and how, September, October, I feel like most people are on their My Player, but as soon as like December, as soon as like we're in the new year, everybody's playing My Team. I feel like My Team is hot, right? My team just kind of keeps going and going and going until it blows up, and then you have Victor Wembanyama's, and you have Shaq dribbling like a guard and whatnot. Like, do you guys enjoy that? Do you guys wish that they would stop at some point? Keep things realistic a little bit? Because some people, look, 2K, I feel like they would not be doing that if people didn't enjoy it, right? 2K knows this stuff. They know what people want. Even if they say they don't want it, like they follow the numbers, right? If you're playing My Team, they're gonna think that you enjoy what you're playing. And I think that's about it for this podcast. I do want to mention that because we're in mid-July, we're only about 2 weeks away from our first courtside report, which is, in other words, a dev blog. So a blog from the developers about what's new in 2K24. And usually with those blogs, you're gonna get like one a week every week of August, maybe one or two a week depending on the information. And with those blogs, you're also gonna get Mike Wang tweeting and going on Reddit and answering a lot of questions. And when those dev blocks come out, guys, just be prepared for a lot of people to spread misinformation and to assume things that are completely insane and completely off topic from what the dev blogs are about. But because we're still 2 weeks away, I guess just keep that in mind, kind of in the back of your mind. And if and when that happens, I will be here to tell you guys the real truth of things. So, with that, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast and you got some information out of it, please let me know. If there's any guests you want to, listen from here that I might be able to converse or ask questions to, let me know. I have a Twitter, I have a YouTube, I have a Twitch, and I'm on Discord frequently. You can even message me on Reddit if you want. Heck, uh, I will see you guys on the next one.